I'm gonna say Aaron Gordon. I ain't gonna lie, Aaron Gordon has been balling.
Man.
He has been balling, bro. He had a game defining moments against the Thunder, bro. Like them threes, like you cannot leave that man open. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing good defensively, and he's a bucket, bro. Like I rock with Aaron Gordon. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Aaron Gordon. I said a stretch though. I said I don't want to talk about the stars. I'm gonna talk about. You think that's what they doing? Damn. Bro.
Yo! Hey man, say man, welcome back to another episode of Check the Stats Podcast, man. I'm your host T Cal. Here to the left, we got co-host Big Sandman in the building. And here to the right, we got co-host, aka New Teach, Big Verse, aka Mr. V in the cut, man. How y'all boys doing, man?
Hey, life is good, man. Hey, finna walk that stage again.
Yes, Lord.
Hey, God is great. God is great, man. He just graduated, so you know what I'm saying? Boys got his bachelor's, man, and hey.
Ain't nothing like black success over here, man. We all strive to be the best, man.
Shout out to the grads, man.
Class of 23 over here, Big Verse, Texas, Luther.
Hey, it don't matter how you get there as long as you cross that finish line.
Facts.
And with that being said, man, it looks like in the NBA playoffs, it's a lot of injuries and a lot of people that aren't able to make it to the finish line because of these devastating injuries that are ruining the playoffs, such as the Jayson Tatum. We just seen Donovan Mitchell go out against Indiana, but you can clearly see that he was hobbled. It sucks when you don't have the best of the best players competing on the biggest stage of the playoffs. But with that being said, man, the bigger news happened yesterday evening with the lottery. Big Jess, kick us off.
All right, so with this draft results right now, we feel like maybe the system could be rigged. Do you think that's true or not?
100%. Like I just don't believe that you can you could have a team that was a game away from playing in the first round series they get the number one seed with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. I just think that's completely rigged. I seen a trend. Every time you traded your star to LA, or you traded your star to LA, they get the first pick. Chris Paul got traded to the Lakers. Obviously they got rescinded, but who got the first pick? Who got the first pick that year?
Nola.
And who was it? Anthony Davis. And then the Zion and the Lakers stuff. Like they traded AD to the Lakers.
And they got Zion.
And then
damn, cause I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm like, oh shit, damn, it low key makes sense. That's crazy.
Exactly. So like Luka gets traded from Dallas to the Lakers. And now now the Mavericks got the first overall pick. So it sucks for the small market teams that not getting free agents and the amount of talent as other teams. The three worst teams record-wise are pick 5, 6, and 7. I think that's ridiculous. I think the league will never even out without like a change in the draft order, because in the NFL, obviously, if you're you get the best player. Like that's just realistic how it's supposed to go. The bad team need all the good players to be somewhat competitive to these good teams, and then the mixture of power happens and it starts all over again. With the NBA, I mean, it's literally, Jessie, you could be able to explain a little better about the lottery system and how they're able to pick their draft order, but it's rigged. Like, I feel like teams like Charlotte, like they've been struggling for years. Like,
that's true. Teams
like Utah that desperately needs a star, like they've been struggling for years to bring in a big name face, and they just continuously getting hoed because of this weird lottery system getting randomly picked and then sent by the assistant governor. It's ridiculous.
So do we think that tanking is a strategy that actually works or no?
I don't think so. At least not in the NBA. I mean, you've had teams like the Washington Wizards who have been tanking for God knows how long, and how many times have they had the number one pick realistically?
Yeah.
Then you got teams like
they couldn't even get it last year.
And you got teams like New York, the Knicks, who have been at the worst, terrible, and at best probably mediocre for some of their better seasons, and they had so much bad things of luck when it comes to trying to get that number one pick. It's ridiculous. You would have thought that a high marketable city such as New York would have multiple stars in their name that they have in homegrown talent, but everything is because of trades. I mean, their biggest draft piece that they drafted over the past few years was Kristaps Porzingis, and if you want to go further back, Patrick Ewing, and it's not a lot of success going in that market for sure.
So with you guys saying that it's always usually the small markets that struggle, do you think that getting a top pick that isn't always the answer?
No, you need something to be able to rejuice that city, to bring in your fan base. And then with that comes with the eyes, and with the eyes come with league respect. And then league respect comes people interested in playing with you. And I feel like bringing in a top level star, especially young, that makes people want to just gravitate towards you. Like, look at, how can I put it? You can look at a player like Ja Morant in a sense, where like people are more prone to wanting to go to like Memphis or like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, even though he wasn't drafted by OKC. But you see the level of players that want to come play for OKC. I mean, Hartenstein took a pay cut because he could have got more money somewhere else to go play with Shai. You got guys like Alec Caruso, that top destination is OKC, and he's from LA, so he's from a big market. So I feel like, you know, the big stars, if you can get some level of star in a small market, that's all that does is rejuvenate your franchise and give you hope and a realistic chance to compete.
Low key, I kind of agree with that. Like, you can kind of even say like the Magic with Paolo Banchero. I mean, he's an up and coming star though.
I mean,
I'm not.
Are the Pistons successful or unsuccessful story of tanking?
I'm not even gonna say the Pistons are tank. Well,
I would say successful.
It's successful because look at what Cade is doing. Cade has brought that team a long way. Like, Detroit was bottom tier last season, right? And then this season they own one. You know what I'm saying? They did their thing. They got better. And bringing in Cade really like changed the culture and changed like. He just brought more wins. You know what I'm saying? He brought that culture back.
I mean, he been on that team. I wouldn't say necessarily he brings the wins. I think certain players developed to the point where they was able to contribute and be productive NBA players. Right. I think they all came in young. It was just a young squad, and they brought in a lot of veterans like Tobias Harris, like Tim Hardaway Jr., like Mikal Beasley, like, and Dennis Schroeder. Like, you brought in some of those guys to be able to show those younger guys, hey, this is how you win. We may not be the level of player you are, but I've been in those levels. I've been in those situations. I can give you those guiders. I can give you them pointers to go in there and elevate your level of play alongside of their help. And that's what I think boosted Detroit more than anything this year.
I want to go back to Jesse's question when he was talking about tanking and how successful it is. How successful is it? I mean, we've seen teams like the Trailblazers of recent memory who have been trying to take ever since the likes of Damian Lillard leaving, and we see how far that's got them at this point in time. I mean, look at teams like the Jazz in the aftermath of the Donovan Mitchell era. They've been tanking since, 4 years?
D-Mitch probably been gone for about 3.
Okay, well, even with that being said, how successful has that tanking strategy been for the boys up in Utah?
Oh, not at all. I ain't gonna lie, they're sick too. They are sick. He's sick. They sick. They are sick.
It's a tough situation to be in for sure. They say they lost 60-something games
just to get the pick 5. Like, that don't even make sense. The league got to do something better with it. These top brand stars need to go into these small markets and rejuvenate that crowd, to be able to bring more excitement around the league, to make the league equal again. Because let's be honest, Giannis getting traded somewhere in that West. I don't know where, but he's going somewhere in the West. So now you're losing another mega star from the East to the West, and on top of that, you got Jayson Tatum is already going to be out for the remainder of the year. Yeah. So there's not going to be any suit. Like, I promise you, I don't want nobody to be mad when Miles Turner's making an All-Star game. Like, we're taking away all these freaking players, and now you're going to have all these mid players that are really real deal role players having to play in an All-Star game because we took away every single star and put them on the West Coast.
I think that's also going to drive the discussion of, like, getting rid of conferences.
Nah, they got to keep them.
But you got to think about, like, if all the talent has continued to migrate from East to West, especially at this rapid pace, then like the best teams from the East are probably going to be what, barely 4 or 5 seeds in the West, except that one outlier. I mean, just look at this year alone. It's pretty much only 3 teams that have a guaranteed spot in the Western Conference just based off of their record alone.
I mean, but I think you can get to go back to saying like East, like Celtics won the finals last year, and then dang, it's been a minute since the East went outside of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Denver, you got
the Bucks,
you got Golden State,
yeah,
and then it was the Bucks.
But then before that, it was just pretty much all Golden State for a long period of time. You had but prior
I would say Toronto, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like that was some years, and yeah, it was Toronto, the Lakers,
the Bucks,
yeah.
Warriors,
Nuggets,
and
Celtics.
Yeah. Damn.
It's been a minute.
All right, we good to go to the next topic, but.
So we know that usually the draft order never usually stays the same, and with the trade discussions at hand, what do you think that are some teams that are probably going to trade out of the top 5?
I think, and I hope this is not a hot take, and if it is a hot take, okay, but I think the Spurs stay in 2, but I think it sucks because I know realistically they're going to move out of that position. And they're going to eventually end up making a package for Giannis, which is too enticing for the Bucks to resist. And they're going to end up getting Giannis unless the Mavericks trade their 1 pick. But I think it's the Spurs. I think what I think the Spurs should do, my personal opinion, I would trade D Fox. I would trade D Fox. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the highest fan.
To come there.
Yeah, they just got him.
He just asked to come. Not even they traded him. He just requested to go there.
I mean,
he's not leaving.
I mean, it's not. He re-signed, so obviously he's gonna be there. But I mean, you have Castle. He's Rookie of the Year with high level potential, and then on top of that, you got you. I mean, Dylan Harper is the second best player in the draft behind Cooper Flagg. That's like. He's a 6'6" lefty guard out of Rutgers, man.
Yeah, he nice.
He's gonna be the truth. Like, you don't find 6'6" level guards like that that's fluent, is efficient on all 3 levels of the floor, is an amazing playmaker, can get down here with the best of them. He's 6'6", so really guards are too small, bigs are too slow. He's that guy. So like him at 2. I feel like that's the best trade package possible.
Him and Wemby?
No. I don't think you can draft him and still have Stephon Castle and D Fox. So that's why I would say you realistically have to trade the 2 pick to Milwaukee in order to let Milwaukee get their star, let them rebrand their face, bring some of their role play to San Antonio, but also you're getting Giannis in the process of it. Now you got Wemby at the 5, Giannis at the 4, and then I don't know who you keep out of Castle. They could ask for Castle too in a trade of that nature. Yeah. I'm not sure. But I think the team with the best realistic opportunity to trade out of that position is going to be the Spurs. Giannis is on the market, and any team that wants to be anywhat competitive, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at him while he's dead smack in the middle of his prime. So I think San Antonio at 2 is in a prime position to make a big move before draft time.
I think that's likely for sure, but I think it'll probably be more likely. And I know this is probably the Trinity choice, but he stays in Texas. He's going to Texas, but it might not be over by the Alamo. It might be over there by
NRG.
Mm-hmm. No.
Nah, over there by
that would be hard, but he gonna
American Airlines.
He gonna be over there by Jerry's World. He gonna be over there by Jerry's World.
American Airlines.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. Look at that fan base. I know it's a lot of pressure on Nico Harrison, but I mean, in recent hindsight, maybe he wasn't so crazy after all.
That's BS, man.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, but think about it from a standpoint of this. What ranking are we giving to Luka Doncic right now? Is he top 5?
Yes.
Okay. You? Top 5? Ah, shit.
Bro, let's not act like because he had
That's a whole separate discussion.
one mediocre
I'll
playoff.
give him top. He needed to start playing some defense. But he top 10 offensively. He top 5 offensively.
I'd say top 5, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, make your point.
So Luka's top 5. Do we obviously the ceiling of Cooper Flag is through the roof, but will we consider current day Giannis to be better than Luka Doncic?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Well, you put him like a spot below, maybe 2.
That's a hard question.
That is probably like maybe 2 spots, maybe 2. Yeah.
Okay, so
like
I'm
Giannis.
taking Giannis.
So okay, you're taking Giannis, but bare minimum, Giannis is a top 5 player in all.
Giannis is a top 3 player.
Okay, he's a top 3 player. Do we think that realistically, Cooper Flag's projection is going to be top 3 level scorer or top 3 level player in the NBA? Because if your answer is no for the Dallas Mavericks and your win now window that you're trying to sell to your fans is right here in the making, then why not make a trade for one of the best players in the NBA who's still in his prime right now that complements the games of both of the co-stars that you currently have on your roster? You can package up a deal, you can get rid of some pieces that Giannis is more than capable of making up for on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. It decreases the ball handling load of Kyrie Irving to a certain extent, and it helps out AD in keeping him in the role of the number 5.
My answer is you see this with the Nuggets, you see this with the Rockets, you see this with the Lakers. Depth matters. You can't just like see the shiny franchise player who's available and want him on your team. You got to be able to
Have
depth like that.
Yeah,
like, if
it's
you don't have a
important.
bench, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I don't think Dallas is trying to find their new guy. I think they're trying to complete their puzzle. And I think Cooper fits into that puzzle piece more than
Giannis.
who can really get us a ring right now. I think that they, like Tyler was saying earlier, they were on the brink of making the playoffs this year. So
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to really complete the puzzle rather than win then trying to change their whole franchise around.
I don't know if it's the most realistic thing in the world, but I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of like if you're trying to hop into that win now mode that they've been trying to promote since that Luka trade, this is probably the best way that you're gonna be able to do it.
Maybe I'm going on a limb here. Maybe Utah. Maybe Utah will trade out. Maybe. I feel like adding Giannis to that. I mean, Laurie Markkinen and Jordan Clarkson there. I mean, that'd be a different sight. I feel like it would, help them. I feel like Giannis would be in a pretty good role there. So I feel like they'll probably trade out and go get Giannis.
Wait,
know.
what?
I don't know.
Wait, Utah going to get Giannis?
Yeah, like they would trade out.
No,
to go get Giannis. You don't think
hell
so?
no.
It would have to be a multi-team trade.
Yeah, because
Utah
what?
doesn't have
No.
What assets do they have? Like what assets do they
That's the
have
only
that they
reason
get?
why it's
Laurie
funny. Like it's fun. Like they're not competitive. Giannis, I mean, that's the main reason he's leaving because they're not competitive. He's already in a small market, so you're going to Utah to go to another small market to be uncompetitive.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you
okay.
for sure not getting nobody.
Let me see.
So like with this question, it's more the fact like it's not a Giannis related question. It's a who realistically in that top 5 will trade out of it. So that means you can get any one of these superstars that's gonna be realistically available.
Do you think the Sixers will trade out?
That's what I was about to say. I was just about to say that.
I think there's a realistic chance they can trade out to build around Giannis. I say Giannis. Build around Embiid and Tyrese, and I
You don't
wouldn't
think
say
they
Paul
finna come
George.
off? You won't think they finna come off of Embiid?
No,
Let me ask you a question. If you're a team with a bunch of draft picks, do you hold on to all your draft picks and draft players from the draft, or do you try to trade up or maybe trade and get some free agents? And before you answer that, let me list off some player option free agents.
For this year? Okay.
James Harden, LeBron James,
Harden just signed.
Julius Randle, Kyrie Irving, Miles Turner, Josh Giddey, Fred VanVleet, Jonathan Kuminga, Naz Reid, Malik Beasley,
I feel like
This goes on.
I feel like they're gonna sign that.
What would you do if you're a team with a bunch of picks?
I think it depends on the vision that you have. Because we've seen success in both avenues. We've seen teams like the LeBron-led championship-level teams who sacrifice draft picks and stuff because they know that they're going to be competitive now when they have top upper echelon guys. Why not just add more pieces that complement them by using your assets of trade picks? But then you look at a team like the Golden State Warriors who built majority of their team from the ground up for their latest championship and their first championship for sure. Then also look at guys like the Thunder right now who have essentially built a upper echelon team just off of stockpiling draft picks. So
That's true.
My last question would be, what's more valuable, a top 3 pick or a 26-year-old All-Star?
26-year-old
All-Star. They're already seasoned. They know the game already. They know the pace of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? That you don't really have to throw so much on them. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's a difference though, like in the level of that number 1 overall pick or that top pick, because you have guys like Victor Wembanyama, where it's like
we can't.
You wouldn't even trade like.
Yeah, we can't.
It don't matter if they gave you Nikola Jokic, they not trading that 1 pick for what Wemby can be.
Yeah,
you for sure not getting off that pick. So I think it just really just depends on the hype of the prospect. And I didn't know that Cooper Flag. I mean, obviously we knew he's going to be 1, but I'm looking at it from was he like center point, like he's a can't miss once in a generation type prospect? No. I don't see that.
I think it also depends on like how much you value the top 3 level pick, because we've seen super hype players that end up flaming out in their careers. No disrespect to those players, but like how valuable is a Ben Simmons in this current day and age as a number 1 prospect who is projected to be similar mode to LeBron James? But then again, you look at guys like how valuable is an Anthony Davis? How valuable is a Kyrie Irving? How valuable is a Cade Cunningham? So it just depends on how you view that pick compared to what you already get, because that level of ascension, if you truly know how to develop and believe in them, it'll take you to a roof. Maybe to heights that a 26-year-old can't.
Pause. Are you subscribed to Check the Stat Podcast, man? While we on this pause, you make sure you go on that YouTube link and you subscribe to Check the Stat Podcast, or you're going to make my boy Omari sad, man.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Okay. So without Tatum, are the Celtics still contenders, or are they completely done?
I think they're still contenders. That's why you built that level of team. You have Drew Holiday, you have Derek White, you have Al Horford, you got KP, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Peyton Pritchard, 6th Man of the Year, you got one of the best coaches in the league right now, Joe Mazzulla. Boston's always been deep, in my personal opinion. Jayson Tatum obviously was a top 10 player prior to the injury. We're debating top 10. I'm going to still say that. Now, with the injury with Jayson Tatum, get well. Obviously, that's Achilles. That's no joke. He's going to be out for the whole 2025, 2026 season. So prayers up. I mean, he went out guns blazing for sure. He had 11 points in that 4th quarter within that 7 minutes. I mean, he was single-handedly keeping them in that game. So, I mean, to Jayson Tatum, you going out like that, man, like, salute. Like, you cemented yourself. But with your team, I think y'all are finished. Realistic, I think you can't have $200-300 million players on any team. It will never work in any situation or any universe. It's never going to work. So, Tatum and Brown, one of that's going to have to go. ASAP, cause I think they're about to touch the third window. It's the third luxury tech window where obviously they're way over. Kristaps Porzingis is on the close to $90 million deal. You got Drew Holiday that re-signed for $160. You got Derek White that signed for $160, and then you got Brown for $300. Damn. I mean, you got they're gonna have to get off some guys, and realistically, we know that Drew Holiday is gonna be one of them, but. Outside of that, it's gonna be a lot of construction in that Boston Celtics locker room. Yeah. And I feel like that their window was now. I feel like they're about to lose some of their key pieces, and with Tatum being out for the rest of the year, man, not only is their season over this year, but I think in the future, and even with Tatum coming back, I think this Boston Celtics team, we're gonna have a very different outlook on them. I think it's over.
So, would you agree that Tatum is the engine of the team?
No.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
I think it is kind of crazy how deep the Celtics are. If you want to have a team constructed to withstand the loss of your best player, you probably look at the Celtics as like a model because of how deep their team is in terms of scoring, in terms of people that are capable of doing a good chunk of what Jayson Tatum what Jayson Tatum can do individually by himself. I think in this situation, the Celtics title window, I don't think it's necessarily closed. I think it's just shut. It's closing rapidly fast because I heard something not too long ago. It's like you think that the team that's going to win the championship the next season is the team that just won the championship until they don't. We looked at teams like the Warriors and how they got knocked off relatively early. Teams like the Lakers from the bubble after a dominant season turn around and can barely scrap a 7 seed, getting bounced off by the likes of the Suns. So I'm looking at the Celtics. If they want to get to this point again, at least especially relatively soon, like within the next year or two, Jaylen Brown, you're going to have to showcase why you're worth $300 million. Like you're
That
going.
was my next question. Is Jaylen Brown enough to win games without Tatum
I believe so.
for Finals MVP?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the Celtics like ball with Tatum scoring like minimum points. So I mean, I feel like the Celtics are fine. I mean, yes, the window is rapidly closing for another championship because of course, he just mentioned it, how much money that they're going to have to come off of for the players. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're fine, honestly. Like, they're gonna miss Tatum, but their roster is so deep. You know what I'm saying? They can still compete with the teams that are very good. So I feel like the Celtics, they're fine. You know what I mean?
I think also what benefits them too is like, look at the Eastern Conference. Like, look at how wide open it is. Nobody in their mama would have thought that the final two teams, most likely at the time of this recording, are going to be the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Nobody in their mama would have thought that. But because of so many things of unforeseen circumstance, and for such a great migration to the West for all these superstars, it's like the West is such a tough conference that the East is by default essentially a cakewalk for a lot of teams. And if you have the right pieces, if you have the right roster, you have the right coaching, which Boston clearly has, your window can be relatively extended, at least coming out of that conference.
So with that being said, with no Tatum, no Porzingis, do you think that the Celtics are basically an average team in the East?
No. I mean, yeah, realistically, yeah. I think Drew Holiday regressed tremendously this year. Offensively, at least. Defensively, he's still the same Drew, but offensively, I mean, he looked light years from what he did last year. Now, I do like Derek White, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough. Like, Derek White is not like...
He's not a star.
You're pretty much asking to go into number 2 scoring role, and I don't think he can do that on any championship contending team because Drew Holiday's never stepping into that role. I think he's pretty much a solid 3-and-D guy right now on the floor. Porzingis is sick. Like, he's been playing back. Like, I mean, he had the illness. Like, they ain't diagnosed it yet. I said that wrong.
Gave a diagnostic?
Yeah.
Diagnosis.
Yeah. He said it wrong with me.
My bad.
But
Yo, brother.
While we're on the subject of their roster, I mean, earlier you mentioned Al Horford. How much do you think they can really lean on him at his age?
not at all.
He finna retire soon.
I've been in the league for a while.
You mentioned him as a core part of the team.
He was, but I mean, shoot, when age kick you like that, he's supposed to be coming out the bench giving you 25 to 27 minutes. 25 to 27 minutes as a role player, of course. I think he's getting overextended because of unforeseeable changes like Porzingis getting hurt. And now you got Tatum that's out for the rest of the year. So it's like with him, I feel like he putting people in roles that they aren't comfortable in or they're not going to be able to get the best out of their abilities in. And that's going to lead to a blowout tomorrow night with New York taking it and going to, they're going to be hosting Indiana for the Eastern Conference Finals, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So you think their depth is kind of shot now? Like they don't have that depth that everybody talks about anymore?
No, I don't think
they still deep. Like,
they don't have depth without people being in their proper roles. I feel like when you make people play above their means, then they're not in their role, so they're not going to excel, or they're not going to produce at the level that we are usually expecting them to produce. And so,
you don't think Mazzulla can overcome?
No.
I think
he won't overcome anything against these fellas.
You don't think Pritchard could step up?
No.
Damn.
I think
Hauser?
No. He's not even playing as is. I just don't think. I think their only hope is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has to actually, like what Charles said, he's gonna have to ball his ass off tomorrow and the rest of the playoffs in order for. But forget the money though. Let's just forget the money.
Yeah.
You are an all NBA player. You are an all-star. You want all this respect and all this stuff. You went crying because they didn't pick you for Team USA, but yet and still, this whole playoffs, I think from start to finish, I don't think he's been. Obviously, he came in limping. He came in injured with a knee. So I don't get nobody excuse. If you're on the court, obviously everybody got a nick and knack at this point of the year, but Jaylen Brown has not looked good all playoff long, and I think realistically, this is going to be a real legacy-defining game tomorrow for him to dictate his future in Boston.
Do you think that this will kind of be a similar mode of like what Brunson was going through in terms of being a teammate of a Luka Doncic, where like now we get
No, I'm
not talking about from the standpoint. Look, I'm not talking about from the standpoint of like, you go from a super competent 2 to, oh my God, you're a superstar. I'm talking about from the likes of like, your talents were suppressed because you had a much better player on the roster, and now you have your chance to run your own show, whether temporarily or not. You get a chance to showcase anything that you're able to flourish on the court.
No,
you don't think that's what Jaylen Brown is capable of?
No, I think Jaylen Brown at his best, like how I said, like you can't put players outside of their proper prospective roles because they won't produce the same. I think Jaylen Brown, his max ability is to be a high level 2 on a championship contending team. I think if you put him in any level of one category where he has to lead a squad, it's going to end badly. He's going to be in them as a 1. I think he'll be in like that tier of like, how can I put it? He'll be like Kevin Durant. Like he'll be in that Kevin Durant tier level player, where it's like he may be able to get you a 30 piece, but it's not producing to no wins. Like. He's not a 1 on any championship contending team.
So the Celtics are a real contender without Tatum, or just a good regular season team?
Good regular season team.
Good regular season team.
Tatum is a vital piece of that team. Don't get me wrong, but with Tatum there, he's taking off some of the pressure of guys like Derek White's and what's his name, Peyton Pritchard's, like certain guys that use Tatum as basically like the kickstart to their offense. Now they're going to have to be able to create their own offense. Now they're going to have to be able to pick up some of the slack that Tatum isn't going to give you because he's out. You're going to have to step into that role. And I don't think, obviously, that's why they're guys that get paid them high max contract for a certain reason. And Tatum, as much criticism as we gave, or I'll say me, I wouldn't speak on y'all two. But as much criticism I gave him, he's an all-NBA level player. So obviously, those are hard shoes to fill, and I'm not expecting anybody on Boston to fill them. But if it was any player on that team to fill them, it's the other $300 million man, Jaylen Brown. And if he doesn't produce, hey, I got something for you next week, baby. Yeah. I'm gonna put some fire in your ass.
It's really tough too because he in this position where he ain't asked for this, and yet he's thrusted into it. So he got to mess around and showcase why he's worth that $300 million. He got to showcase to Boston why they should value him the same way in the vein that they value Tatum. And if he don't do it rather quickly, it's gonna get spooky, my brother.
All right. While we're talking about value, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Who do you guys think has been the best player in the playoffs?
I think it sucks because before this, I would have said Donovan Mitchell. He was averaging 40 in the second round. He'd been balling his tail off this whole postseason prior to injury. But if I got to go with a player, I'll give it to Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson, he's averaging 30 points a game. 30 points a game in the playoffs. So that means he's a playoff riser, everybody. Now, obviously, the field goal percentage isn't well, shooting 43% from the field. But, I mean, he's shooting 44% from the three-point line. I mean, that's solid.
Yeah,
That's good for something now. I mean, Jalen Brunson, he's showing time and time again why he's the most clutch player in the league. Obviously, he won an award for it. But, I mean, 30 points. He averages the most points in the fourth quarters. I mean, heavily undermanned. I mean, not undermanned, but highly doubted team. Going in there playing the defending champs that nobody gave a chance. He hasn't had a good series up to his standards up until game 4. I mean, he gets it done every single time. And I counted him out. And Tatum, I mean, if I had to be honest, I think the best player in that series, me personally going in with Brunson for me. I don't know for you because I know you're a big Brown guy. You like Tatum. You like them Irishes over there. I know how you get down.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Brunson, man, I think he's been the best player in the playoffs. He had his game-defining moment. I mean, look back to that Detroit game. He literally he literally cooked an all-NBA level defender in Asor Thompson, pulled back jump shot 4 games. Like, he has his moments. Like,
that's
do you
crazy.
think Brunson's carrying New York, or do you think it's team ball?
Nah, Brunson is carrying New York.
Brunson's carrying the scoring a little, but I ain't gonna lie, I'd be extremely lucky as hell to have Mikal Bridges dropping 20 plus. Anunoby going for at least 25. Cat essentially being the biggest shooting threat on the floor outside of the fourth quarter. Like, for as great as Brunson has been, and don't get me wrong, I agree with you. That New York basketball stuff is something different when they're not even playing a whole bunch of guys on their rotation and they're still getting the results that they're getting to the likes of which they haven't lost a road playoff game at the time of this recording still. That's incredible and that's impressive.
So, I mean, if we're talking about scoring and efficiency, why not SGA?
Because he played, I mean, for starters, his stats have dropped 5 points from his regular season averages. So that means he ain't playing a worth of shit. I mean, my thing with Shea is like, he had it last year where he was balling. He balled in the playoffs, and I was giving him his respect. But this year, man, I mean, he's been highly disappointed, man. I mean, that's the whole reason why we say, like, all that flopping, all that flailing, all that trying to get these calls from the referees, bro, that stuff does not translate to winning basketball in April, in May, in June. You can't win like that whatsoever, and especially when you don't have those co-stars on your team that's able to pick up your load when you're slacking off. He doesn't have the room for that at all. J-Dub, I don't think he's that level guy. I don't think he should have made an all-star team this year, me being, like, respectfully honest. Mm-hmm. And then Chet, I don't think he's there yet. Like, I feel like he's a year behind, so he's not ready to take on any load if Shea is to have an off night. Hartenstein, he's not there for no offensive load. So I think, me personally, I think Shea, he's been an extremely disappointing player in the playoffs so far. Even though his assists and his rebounds go up, I mean, I guess at that point, every time a player doesn't perform up to their standards, all of a sudden they rebounded and assist champs. Right. Look at Tatum prior to the injury. He was going nuts. Yeah. 16 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, he's going crazy.
To be fair, the day that he got hurt,
he had 40.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, when they're not playing good, all of a sudden, if you bet they RA is going crazy. They can't do nothing else but rebound and assist.
Yeah, I say, Shea, I mean, he's been doing okay. But he wasn't doing what he was doing last playoffs, last year's playoffs and everything. He's regressed. I say that. I'm a Thunder fan. I can say that. The inconsistent shooting, I mean, just, trying to look for a foul. And I'm like, damn, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can come off the ball. You know what I'm saying? You got other scorers around you. You know what I mean? But I want to bring it back to, like, who do I think has been playing the best? If that's cool with y'all.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say like no stars. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't want to go that route. Because, I mean, I could easily say Halliburton. I mean, if I can, you know.
Okay.
I want to say, I ain't gonna lie, I want to shed some light to like the guys that's like role players. I'm gonna say Aaron Gordon. I ain't gonna lie, Aaron Gordon has been balling.
Man.
He has been balling, bro. He had a game defining moments against the Thunder, bro. Like them threes, like you cannot leave that man open. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing good defensively, and he's a bucket, bro. Like. I rock with Aaron Gordon. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Aaron Gordon. How's that a stretch though? How's that a stretch? I said I'm not gonna. I don't want to talk about the stars. I'm gonna talk about. Oh, you think that's what they doing? Damn.
Bro.
3, 2. So, do you guys think we should reward clutch moments or like full game consistency?
I say full game consistency.
It depends.
In my eyes, I feel like that's more important than the clutch moment. I mean, clutch moment, yeah, you know, you can get you a little game winning moment, but like consistency, I feel like that's everything. I feel like consistency translates to winning, you know. So
Don't you feel like consistency would translate to the fourth too, though? To the fourth quarter.
I mean, yeah, of course, but like
Who are you talking about?
Well, I'm just thinking from the standpoint of like Jalen Brunson has been a pretty consistent player to the point where he's like not only leading the playoffs in scoring essentially, especially with his averages, but leading the fourth quarter at such a high rate that he surpassed everyone else to make a gap wide as hell. Right. But then you look at times of when you're clutch. Tyrese Halliburton is not as consistent as we would want him to be in terms of scoring, and yet here he is with essentially 2 game winners already this far in the playoffs.
He just dropped 31 though.
He did just drop 31, but he also was in a position where he was barely able to score up to 20 points a game.
Yeah,
like he would be looking to pass out of layup and open 2-point opportunities just to get his others involved, which isn't a bad thing because it's working.
He's not a selfish player.
Yeah, but he's also not the most consistent scorer.
Yeah.
But he's able to provide a level of clutch ability in the fourth quarter too.
Are they like not targeting him? Is he like the focus for the defense though?
Yes.
Yeah, he is because he's the primary ball handler, but at the same time, like, the way I look at Indiana, they so unpredictable for who they get the bulk of their scoring from.
True, because it can be Miles Turner one night.
And next night it be Nimhard.
Yep, that's
Who's
true.
your player that's doing it on both sides of the floor?
My player that's doing it on offense and defense.
I don't know. I'd say probably
Yeah.
and either or Julius Randle. Because, I mean, he's been doing his thing on the defensive side too.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say Russ. Nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna say that.
Russell Westbrook?
But
Nah, to be fair, he has been
have you?
like...
I mean, I know you've been watching the series. He has
The
been playing
best
good.
two-way player in the playoffs remaining?
Wait.
No. He said who been
playing
doing it?
the best?
I'm just going
The
like
best.
a different direction. Like I'm changing it because y'all gonna say. I know y'all gonna say the best though.
I think Russ, to his credit though, like he has
been playing good.
He
Like,
might be the best. Like the way he's producing, it might not be a stretch to say he's the best player coming from the bench.
Russ will come off
in
the bench
playoffs.
and have 17.
Like at this moment in
that
time.
mean?
Bro, I mean, he just hoping. Like I'm just like, damn. Like
But that's not the
series.
best. Like if I'm thinking best, I'm thinking like like
Giannis.
it's too many good two-way players for us to just say Westbrook. Not like,
Are you talking about in the playoffs, right?
yeah.
Still,
Giannis not. I would say Giannis ain't in the playoffs.
No, I'm just saying as an example.
Yeah, I mean,
We have any answers?
Who for me? I say that. I think he probably realistic the best two-way, especially. I mean, we seen what he's doing on offense, man. But defensively, he's no slouch. He's not. You're not going to pick on Ant. Like Ant is realistic guarding somebody who's hooping. So
I mean,
So when we say best player, are we talking like biggest impact or like stats or what's really the biggest contributor for y'all when you say best player?
You are the reason for us winning or losing this game.
Impact.
you can say that about Russ,
what?
and you can say that about Aaron Gordon too. I mean,
You could say the Nuggets'
Bro, we've been-
biggest
talking
reason
about-
for winning and losing is Russell Westbrook.
no. I'm talking about like he's helping. I'm saying he's contributing to the win.
But we're not talking contributing. We're talking about who is the reason for us losing or winning the game more times than not. You think that's right?
I was just trying to say that like him coming off the bench, like if Russ got 17, like that's a big thing, bro.
And if
Like,
Russ got 0, they lose essentially.
he helps them get points, yeah. Like are y'all not watching the same series I'm watching?
We talking about best. Like, we ain't talking about who contribute. We can say Josh Hart. You can put Josh Hart in them conversations with Westbrook, Derek White. Like, we can put
Would you
all
say
type of
Jokic?
role player.
Yeah. I mean, shit, his turnovers has been what's fucking up the Nuggets.
That's because niggas been ripping them. That's why they playing. They like as soon as he catch the ball and he not looking, somebody swatting that hell away. So.
So, do you think if Jokic wins the championship this year that he's like certified best player in the league?
I mean, he's been.
He been there. He's been there.
Hey, the question.
Yeah.
It's really just a race for who's number 2.
Shit, he's fucking unguardable. He's too fucking big.
Would you also say it's easy to say that Anthony Edwards is a top 5 player in the league?
No, he's not. I wouldn't even do that.
How many players above him?
Luka, Giannis, Jokic.
Especially if you factoring in that Tatum injury too. So that's less competition.
He was better than Tatum before the injury, though. Let's be honest. I think it's hard because, like, I see the regression from Bron, and it's making it hard for me keeping him in that top 5. And Embiid's been out for a long period of time and hasn't had the same. He ain't been to a conference final and about to make it to his second one back to back. So, like, Embiid would be in that top 5 conversation, but I mean, you know, the conversation and whatever you done for me lately. So I think realistically, yeah, I might got me. He might be in that top 5. The back end of it, because he for sure ain't 1, 2, or 3. But I think 5
is 5 minimum.
He
Yeah.
might be 5.
and with a championship, yeah. Like he gonna be cemented top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
So, last but not least, who do you guys think is gonna take it all?
I think coming out the West, I want it to be Denver. I want it to realistically be Denver, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling that it's going to be Minnesota making it out of the Western Conference. I think they're going to defeat Denver in 6. And then I think in the East, I think it's going to be the Cavs. I said the Cavs. I think it's going to be the Knicks defeating the Pacers in a 7-game series. So I think my final matchup would be the Knicks versus the Timberwolves. And I would take Minnesota in 6 in that. I think Ant, he going to win this first one this year. I don't know. All the stars feel like it's aligning, but I mean, I've been wrong before, so.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Of course.
It's not even that. I said it before. I was like, I know who's going to represent the West.
Jokic.
I said that a few episodes ago, just based off of how they was performing against the Lakers. For as good as a team OKC is,
Nigga looked at me. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I'm not gonna play this.
but nah,
Hey.
I think for as good, for as good as how OKC is, it's just I don't understand how consistent or inconsistent the level of their role players are going to be. Jalen Williams has been up and down, so has Chet, especially in this series. We don't know what kind of shooting we're going to get from the likes of Isaiah Joe or Taysom Wallace. SGA is the only consistent offensive level threat on the court as far as like who's going to take on the lion's share and the bulk of the scoring. But at the same time, like when you're going up against a team like Minnesota, who has experience in the conference finals, something that the Thunder, for the majority of their team, doesn't have. When you have guys like the towers of Naz Reid, Gobert, Julius Randle, like when you have guys that have the link that Jaden McDaniels has, or the likes of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it's like, well, what level of offensive scoring do you expect to realistically get if you're going up against Minnesota? And then in the Eastern Conference, for as great as an underdog story Indiana and New York have, it's really for the Knicks a one-man show if Cat is not on his A game. And then for the Pacers, I feel like the Timberwolves have the capable level of firepower to stop them on the defensive side of the ball. So maybe the stars are aligning for Minnesota in ways we never thought were possible.
Do we still think it's a safe bet to say that the Nuggets are going to take it all?
I feel like, it is. Just off watching this series alone, man, the Nuggets are amazing. They have depth. I mean, of course, like, you can't stop Jokic. I mean, he might have an off night in shooting, but you can't stop him when he's in that paint. You can't stop him rebounding. And he'll play a little bit of defense too. But, I feel like the way that the Nuggets have been playing, man, it's just fast, like very fast paced. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they had like my team, OKC, looking tired. I mean, I know they playing in a high altitude and everything like that, but still though, I mean, they're scoring efficiently. Defensively, I mean, that zone is like when Versea bring the ball up, they on his ass. Like they're not going for none of that. I mean, so I mean, if we can't get past the Nuggets, I mean, I feel like the Nuggets can take it all. I mean, you can say the Timberwolves as well because of how well they've been playing, but I feel like the Nuggets, man, they looking. I can see them making it to the finals for sure.
You don't think the Nuggets are not the Nuggets? Excuse me. Do you think the Timberwolves are ready for the spotlight?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, they done been in this position before, so I mean, it's like, and you know, he coming with that vengeance against Jokic. So
I think they are, just off of the standpoint of like the way that their team is constructed. Like they can expose so many different weaknesses in different teams. For the Thunder, it's youth and inexperience. For the Knicks, like I said, essentially it's a one-man wrecking crew that you got to watch out for on a consistent basis. And they have the defenders. And for the Pacers, they're so sporadic, you don't necessarily know what you're going to get from them on the offensive side. So they can adjust and make life a living hell for them potentially.
How about the Celtics? Do you think that their shots are...
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. It's a wrap.
They might push it to 6, but it's over.
Nuggets and the Knicks. Yeah, that's what I got.
You think so?
Nah, he gave on his own team.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I respect it.
I mean, I'm not giving up. It's just if we
That's
can't.
what you said.
No. I never said I'm giving up on the Thunder. Do I believe they can win? Yes. I mean, we blew them out. That's the same team we blew out.
Who?
The Thunder, we blew the Nuggets out.
I'm talking about game 2.
Yeah, we blew their ass out by like 40.
I'm saying he just chose the Nuggets and the Knicks for a finals.
I know, but they've been looking better than us.
But that's what I'm saying. You choosing against your team.
Okay, but you're not letting me explain.
No, I'm saying that's not saying that you're rooting for the Thunder, obviously, but you're saying Denver is the better team.
Yeah, wait. I mean, you can see that. I mean, they've been more consistent than us. I mean, shit.
Yeah, so
they got the best player in the league. So it's like, why wouldn't? I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, but you picking against it. That's what I'm saying.
I respect it.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, you don't have confidence in your team.
Do we all agree that this is the year that the Knicks makes the finals?
Yeah, I mean,
they can.
It's the start of the line. I would never count on Indiana no more. I'm not coming in looking at them like they're the young, fast. Like no, they're serious. They're legit.
There's an old Texas saying,
"What the hell?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me."
So, would you apply that to the youth of OKC? Do you think at what point do we stop saying that they're young and give them the credit of the experience that they're starting to build?
This year.
I mean, but like you.
That's 3. This is what? Wait, no. This is second playoff.
This is the second time that they've been essentially a number.
I'm talking about the team we
seed.
got now. So this is I mean. They are the youngest team in the league. I mean,
It's the second time they've been a number 1 seed, but you gotta think about it from the standpoint of like if they keep on doing what they're doing, then at a certain point in time, then this is gonna turn from an ascending level team that has a lot of promise to them to a team like Cleveland, who unfortunately has a lot of success in the regular season, but nothing to show for it in the postseason.
Exactly. Like we can't. I said that the other day. I said, bro, we can't keep saying, "Oh, we're young," like they're inexperienced. That shit gonna run out. I mean. We're not supposed to be coaching. That excuse is not gonna fly. Like we can't keep saying that. You know what I'm saying? This is my team, and I'm saying this. Like we can't keep saying that. Like we can't keep saying, oh, they're too young. You know, like they're inexperienced and everything like that. That shit it's gonna be over with. Like you can't. That shit gonna be over with, for real.
Hey, bro.
Is there a team that has an advantage strictly due to their coaching?
No.
Nah.
Man, it's the players. The coach can only do so much.
Run you to the ground. Rick Carlisle, I mean, he's an offensive genius.
Missoula is hell bent on living and dying by the 3, but it's worked for them more times than not.
Thibodeau ain't giving their players a rest. Alderman is a assistant coach in the head coaching role right now. He realistically gonna get the job.
I hate to say this, but I can't necessarily count Steve Kerr out too.
Oh no, I will.
I'll count him out for this year because of the position they're in. But would I be surprised if say miraculously they get Curry back sometime for Game 5, 6, and 7, that they could make this a series again. I can't
Curry
say
he not returning back the rest of the month. Like,
What did he do again?
hamstring grade 2.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He ain't coming back from that, bro. Like, he said, even if I wanted to be Superman, I couldn't be it. So, I think realistically, coaching would have saved any of these teams. I think it's the players at this point.
You got to step up.
I think all the coaches in this playoffs have gotten exposed to a certain extent too.
And so whether it's for legacy, contracts, reputation, or whatever you think it may be, who do you think really needs this ring the most?
And to really establish himself as, I'm that dude, like, you know, the talk, the flash, the shoe deals, the popularity that comes with it. I mean, all the kids at my school, they love Anthony Edwards. He the GOAT. He their new favorite player. So he already got the youth. All he needs now is the accolades. And the only accolades he really needs at this point is Finals MVP, Finals appearance, 1-0. I mean, that's all you need to really cement yourself as a top 5 player in the league. I think Anthony Edwards has the most to gain from a final championship this year.
I think, honestly, it might be SGA. And I say that because how much cachet can you expect to ride off of with your MVP as the best player on a championship caliber team, and you have nothing to show for it other than playoff exit after playoff exit? I think it'll do a hell of a benefit to him because a lot of people, while they establish SGA as a top tier level player, how much respect is he getting to the likes of being compared to the Giannis's, the Jokic's, the Lukas of the world? Like the guys that we, for the most part, agree that they are in a tier of their own, and SGA might be a notch below that, despite him being one of the favorites to win MVP this year. So I think if he were to win a title, then not only would we take him seriously, not to say we don't, but we'll add to the level of seriousness we take him. We'll also take the Thunder seriously in terms of what they're capable of doing. This level of ascension, this youth that we're seeing from them is all thrown out the window because SGA rose to another level that ascended to being a finals caliber winner, a finals MVP potentially. He's going to do wonders for his career.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can say Shea. For sure. I mean, he wins, man. If he is to make it to the finals, man, I mean, just making it to I feel like if he make it to the finals alone, I mean, I feel like we can,
Who needs the ring the most?
Who needs the rings the most?
Yeah.
I say Shea for sure. I mean, I feel like that would probably cement him in that top 5 range because, I mean, they just named their top 5, man. They ain't even throw him in there. And the way he's playing in the playoffs, I mean, it doesn't, it's been inconsistent. So I feel like if he can, turn it up a notch and play to the level that we know he can play at, and he can lead that team all the way to the finals, and he wins it, I mean, yeah, like I feel like he'll get the most benefit from it, for real.
I think another player would, before we head out here, Jalen Brunson for sure. I think Jalen Brunson, if he wins a finals in New York City as an undersized guard, I think he kicks down the door for what we say about little people can't play or can't be those guys on that team. Jalen Brunson is redefining what the NBA landscape is basically. I mean, it's really true. Big wings and big guards or bigger players win championships. Smaller people are role players. We never seen a small guard lead their team to the promised land since Steph Curry. So I think Jalen Brunson had the chance to really just cement cement for the smaller guards. You can lead us. You can be one of those guys in the league without the level of size or without the two-way ability, because Jalen Brunson can't play a lick of defense. We can be honest. He ain't playing no defense. He's small as hell. But he getting a bucket and he getting timely stops, and I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I would say Jalen Brunson.
I like that. I agree with you.
Would you say Tyrese Halliburton has a case because of where we previously ranked him versus where he has a chance of being ranked after back-to-back conference finals appearances and a potential championship?
And his resurgence, I ain't gonna lie.
No. We said who needs it the most, and I think Tyrese Halliburton, him making it this far is a shocker. And I think him making it to the second round was good enough. Like him making it to the finals would be shocking, and him winning would be, we would fake. Like it's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think he needs it the most. I think Jalen Brunson, if he loses to Tyrese Halliburton in the conference final, I think that's going to be more shocking than anything. So I think Brunson and the Knicks will have more expectations to win the championship than a Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. But with that being said, man, that will conclude episode 51 of Check the Stats podcast, man. If you made it to the end, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all our personal pages, man. We only getting up from here. Man, we got my boy Big Sam, man. If y'all make it to the end of the video, make sure y'all comment down below, man. Happy just congratulate him on graduating with his master's. I mean, shit.
Congratulate him too,
you
bro.
too.
We can't get what?
Me too, man.
Nah,
He just
your
graduated
stuff
too.
is coming up. But,
Yeah.
man, nothing but black excellence over here, man. We all doing big things in the world. Big Verse 2023. Big Jess coming soon. More content coming later, man. Big Verse, any last word before we conclude this 51 episode?
Shout out to Big Jess. He getting them racks. Shout out Big Sam, man. Pocket's getting fat.
Todd.
Shout out T Cal. You know where it's at. And shout out to all of us at CDS. Checking them stats.
Hey, that was hard. That was hard. Hold on. What's good? Hey, man, it's your boy Big O, Omari. Hey, man, look, check it out. If you need them facts, y'all know what the fuck to do. Check them goddamn stats. Come on, man. Hey, so.
What?